On March 20th, 2025, President Donald Trump signed an executive order entitled Improving Educational Outcomes by Empowering Parents, States, and Communities. This order is intended to shut down the United States Department of Education and redistribute its responsibilities to the states. The executive order also reiterated that the DOE must terminate any discrimination under the label diversity, equity, and inclusion, or anything similar. However, to shut down the DOE, the executive order would have to first go through Congress. The Ithacan goes on the quad to ask students their thoughts about these potential changes.
I think the Department of Education is a really important institution in American society, and getting rid of it would cause so much damage to the American education system.
It shows that the current administration in the White House does not really value the public education of its constituents.
As a country that prides itself on being so educated and well built up, it's really we're not holding up that reputation very well by getting rid of that entire system.
I actually was formerly a public school teacher. I taught 8th grade English after I graduated from IC. And what I'm mainly worried about, I guess, is funding and I guess the stability of public education in the country, because already, even with the Department of Education, a lot of funding for public schools is diverted away to other things.
Federal funding for education programs is what keeps a lot of them running, and by not granting that federal funding to these programs, a lot of people who had opportunities before aren't going to be able to have these same opportunities.
We're seeing things like classrooms falling apart, old textbooks with outdated information.
Lots of people won't be able to afford to go to school. I probably won't be able to afford to be able to go to school in the next few years, and it's just a terrible situation and a selfish decision, I feel.
The DOE not only encompasses primary and secondary education, but also higher education. The crackdown on DEI initiatives has extended to Ithaca College. IC is currently under investigation for alleged impermissible race-based scholarships following a complaint filed by the Equal Protection Project on June 24, 2024. The complaint alleges that the Rashad G. Richardson I Can Achieve Memorial Scholarship and the African Latino Society Memorial Scholarship were discriminating against students based on their race by only being available for students of color. The DOE also manages the Office of Federal Student Aid, which is in charge of the FAFSA form. The future of the DOE remains unclear, however, questions and concerns have started to surface.
I think it's always important to make sure that scholarships are based off of merit and of the abilities and the talents of people that want to come to Ithaca College, while at the same time we also want to make sure that we have a community and a school with people from a lot of different backgrounds so we can really grow as a community.
I think that every scholarship we have here is helpful to students, and I don't think that it really matters that it's a race-based scholarship. I think it's more about giving opportunities to people who need access to these opportunities, and I think getting rid of them is sort of just a bad decision that just limits, once again, people's access to scholarships and funding to the school.
It's diversity is what we should be striving for, and it's we obviously haven't reached a point where there's too much diversity, because what does that even mean? So trying to take it away is also insane. I think that should be celebrated, and Ithaca is was nominated the safest LGBTQ school, which is what's bad about that? It's just a happy, safe community for people.